Alrighty. Looks like we have a good number of people on, and we have quite a bit to cover, so let's go ahead and get started. Just a few housekeeping things before we begin. We'd like to let all of you know that this workshop is being recorded and informational materials will be available afterwards. Tomorrow, around 24 hours after we wrap up, we will send a follow-up email covering everything we discussed in case you missed anything, and there will also be links to our YouTube channel where we do post the recordings. Second, if you have any questions, please feel free to throw those in the Q&A. We'll have a break to answer some questions out loud at about the halfway point, and then with time remaining at the end, we'll answer questions as well. And finally, if you need to use closed captions, I'm sending another link in the chat with instructions on how you can turn those on. So thanks again for being here. My name is Jobe, and I'm the Senior Associate of External Affairs here at Savi. I'm really excited that you're all here so that I can help you understand your student loans a little bit more and talk about how Savi can make managing them even easier. Since you're new to Savi, here's what you need to know about us. First and foremost, you all are our top priority. We are here to serve student loan borrowers, not student loans. So our number one concern is ensuring that you are not burdened by your student loans, that they are easy to manage, and that we are doing everything we can to help you with them. Next, we've got that insider info. So our team has over 2 decades of experience working in the student loan world, and many of us also have student loans of our own, myself included. So that gives us firsthand kind of insider knowledge that helps us to better serve you. And finally, with Savi, saving has never been easier. With us, you'll be able to see personalized repayment and forgiveness options that are available for you, and you'll be able to easily enroll to take advantage of those savings. So Savi is your student loan benefit. The way we work is that we partner with employers and membership organizations to offer our services as an employee or member benefit. We're your exclusive benefit, and we're available to both you and your family members. So our goals are that by us working with TIAA and Pennsylvania's state system of higher education, we will help you to find the best outcome for your loans. You can see some of the biggest partners that we have, and we have over 400 companies in the Savi community, helping us to serve as many borrowers as possible. So by the end of this session, our goal is that you'll leave knowing what programs are available to help you, how Savi can make these programs work for you, and what you need to do to get started today. So starting off with a quick overview of what programs are out there. There are a lot of different programs that are available, but the two that we focus most on here at Savi are public service loan forgiveness and income-driven repayment plans. For public service loan forgiveness, the way this program works is that after you have worked in public service and made payments for 10 years, whatever loan balance you still owe will be forgiven. On average, Savi users qualify for about $20,500 in loan forgiveness through PSLF. So this is a great option for borrowers that are working in public service to get that loan forgiveness. The other program that we help borrowers take advantage of are income-driven repayment plans. These are affordable repayment plans that base your monthly payment on your income and your family size. These also have a forgiveness option. So after you've been enrolled and made payments for 20 to 25 years, you can have that remaining balance forgiven too. On average, Savi users lower their monthly payments by an average of $150 enrolling in an income-driven plan. That's a pretty high-level overview of these programs. And let's take a closer look at the requirements for each of them so you know what to expect and if you qualify. So those income-driven repayment plans. These are great options available to all borrowers. Right now, there are 4 different plans that are available. These are Save, Pay, IBR, and ICR. They have very similar names. I mix them up all the time, but each one of these plans has different eligibility requirements and calculates your payment a little bit differently. No matter which plan you enroll in, though, your payment will be based on your income and your family size. Your payment will range from somewhere to 10 to 20% of your discretionary income, depending on which plan you're enrolled in. So for income-driven plans, these are based on your income, but they're not based on your entire income, only a portion of it. Essentially, what the Department of Education does is they look at your total income and set aside a portion of it to cover the essential cost of living. The leftover amount is called discretionary income, and your payment is only based on that leftover amount. So for many borrowers, this results in a very low and affordable payment. For example, say that you're single, you have no dependents, and your income is $52,000 a year. No matter what your loan balance is, you could expect to see a monthly payment of about $160 per month if you enroll in an income-driven plan. With these plans, you'll have a repayment period of either 20 or 25 years. After you've made payments for that amount of time, whatever balance you still owe will be forgiven. So by design, this is most beneficial for you if you minimize your monthly payment so that you can maximize forgiveness. The less that you pay now means the higher your balance will be down the road and the more forgiveness you'll receive. If you receive this type of forgiveness before 2025, meaning that you've already been in repayment for an extended amount of time, it will not be taxed. After that date, though, income-driven forgiveness will be considered taxable income for the year that you receive it. And finally, when you enroll into an income-driven plan, you'll be approved for a payment amount for up to 12 months. After that time, you will need to recertify your income so that if it is changed, your payment can be updated. The good news is that Savi can help you see your eligibility for all income-driven plans to see which ones you qualify for, what your payment would be, and we can help you enroll. And I'm going to show you what that looks like soon. Taking a closer look at one of the newer plans that is available, you may have heard about a new plan called the SAVE plan. This is a new income-driven plan offered by the Department of Education that helps to lower payments for borrowers. It replaced one of the old plans that was in existence. So now the SAVE plan is one of the main 4 programs available. The biggest benefit of the SAVE plan is that enrolling will help unpaid interest be covered. This does not change your interest rate and interest is still accruing. But when you enroll, if your monthly payment does not cover all the interest that accrues, the Department of Education will cover the rest of it for you so that your balances do not grow. This plan also changes how monthly payments are calculated. So I mentioned that discretionary income. Under the SAVE plan, they set aside a higher portion of your income. This results in a lower discretionary income and a lower monthly payment. An easier way to look at this is that if you enroll in SAVE, no borrower that is earning less than $15 an hour will have a student loan payment. Borrowers that are earning more than $15 an hour will still have a lower payment since less of your income is counting when calculating. Starting this month, the SAVE plan also has shorter timelines to forgiveness if you had a lower original balance. So under the other 3 plans, you have to pay for 20 or 25 years before you're eligible for forgiveness. But on SAVE, if your original balance was less than $12,000, you'll only need to make payments for 10 years before your remaining balance is forgiven. And finally, there are even more benefits coming later this year. Starting in July, if you have undergraduate loans, your payment will only be 5% of your discretionary income, which is down from the current 10%. If you have grad loans, you will stay at 10%, and if you have both grad and undergrad, it'll be between 5 and 10%. So essentially, anyone with undergraduate loans is going to have their payment lowered even more starting in July. The SAVE plan is available to enroll in now and has already been benefiting millions of borrowers. You can see if you qualify for SAVE, see what your payment would be, and get enrolled by completing your main Savi application. Alrighty, taking a look at that next program, Public Service Loan Forgiveness. As I mentioned, this is the the program that Savi focuses on the most, helping borrowers meet the requirements, get on track for forgiveness, and receive this forgiveness. There are a lot of requirements that go into it, So I'm going to do my best to break them down for you. First, and perhaps the most important, is that you have to work at a qualifying employer. This is a government organization at any level, so federal, state, local, or tribal government. If you don't work at a government organization, you can also work at a not-for-profit 501c3. As long as your employer is one of those types, you could qualify for forgiveness. There is an additional requirement that you have to be a full-time employee. For PSLF, their definition of full-time is 30 hours or more. So anyone working 30 hours or more per week will be considered full-time and can qualify for this program. If you're working under 30 hours, but at multiple employers, you can combine that employment so that you can reach 30 hours to qualify as well. So that's requirement number one, work in public service. Requirement number two is to have qualifying loan types. For PSLF, this is available to you only if you have federal direct loans. If you have FFEL or Parent Plus loans, which are other type of federal loans, those have to be consolidated before you can enroll in PSLF. Direct loans are the current type of loan offered by the Department of Education, so many people are already meeting this second requirement. And finally, requirement number three is to pay your loans on a qualifying repayment plan. For PSLF, you are required to enroll and make your payments on one of the 4 income-driven plans that are offered. As long as you make your payments on one of those 4 plans, they can count towards forgiveness. This is extra beneficial because this lets your payment count towards forgiveness while also giving you that lower monthly payment income-driven plans provide, helping you to save each month and get forgiveness down the line. In order to receive this forgiveness, you have to make 120 payments that meet all 3 of these requirements. After you've made those 120 payments, whatever balance you still owe is forgiven. You apply for this program by submitting a form called the Employment Certification Form. It's signed by both you and your employer and proves that you work in public service. When you turn in this form, you'll get credit for any payments you made while working at that employer. Once they have counted up a total of 120 payments after you've turned in your forms, they will forgive your remaining balance. If they count up your payments and you're not at 120 yet, you'll just continue your progress until you've reached that 120. So one of the first questions we get after explaining this program is, how do I know if my employer qualifies for PSLF? And the great thing about the Savi website is that it is set up to help you determine your eligibility for all of these programs. So one of the questions on our application is about your employment. You can add your employers to your Savi account, and we will let you know if they meet the requirements. The great news is that all employers in the Pennsylvania system of higher education are qualifying employers. So whenever you are adding your employer to your profile, you can search for them by name or by searching Pennsylvania System of Higher Education. We encourage you to add your specific university on here, and you'll see these little blue check marks letting you know that they have been verified by Savi. Once you have added your employer, we will then take that into account and see if they meet the requirements for PSLF. We encourage you to add all current and past employers because you have to turn in a form for each employer to get credit for each of the payments that you've made. If you have just one employer, you just need to add that one. If you have multiple, be sure to add all of them so that we can get an accurate estimate of your eligibility. The next most common question we get is, how do I know if I have the right loan types? Again, you can add your loans to your Savi profile, and we will see if they are correct or if you need to take some steps like consolidating. The easiest way to add your loans is to sign in with the same username and password as your online servicer. When you do this, we will pull over all the info that we need to get your eligibility. If you do have loans that need to be consolidated, we will notify you and help walk you through that process. Adding your loans on this page also does not take any action on them yet. It just gives us a glimpse into your situation so that we can determine your eligibility. One quick update to let you know about is that if you haven't heard, payments have resumed. The payment pause officially ended last fall, and interest resumed in September, and payments were due in October. Each month, your student loan servicer will notify you of your payment amount and due date. So now is a great time to start working on your loans because we are back in repayment. You should be making your payments each month. And this is why we want to help all of you to ensure that these monthly payments are affordable, that your payments are counting towards forgiveness. So now is a great time to get started with Savi and ensure that you are set up for success. The other thing to note about the payment pause is that this time does count towards forgiveness for PSLF. So the way this works, going back to March of 2020, for every month where payments were paused, but you were still working in public service, you can count that month as if you made a payment and count it towards the required 120 payments. This means that now that the pause is over, you have the potential to get credit for over 40 months. This helps you continue your progress towards forgiveness and get even more forgiven down the line. All you need to do to get credit for paused months is turn in an employment certification form for the employers that you worked at during the payment pause. And one last update for you is that later this year, the Department of Education will be making changes to everyone's accounts, giving you credit for more past payments. So again, this is another example of why now is a great time to start working on your student loans because Savi can help you get set up to take advantage of these upcoming improvements. Essentially, what the Department of Education will be doing is going back through everyone's accounts and giving credit for payments that don't meet the normal requirements. As you saw with these programs, there are a lot of requirements to meet, and historically, borrowers have struggled to meet all of them. So these adjustments are going to give you credit for any past periods of repayment, even if they did not meet the requirements and they were maybe made while you had the wrong type of loan or on the wrong repayment plan. This serves as a course correction to help everyone get back on track and closer to forgiveness. These adjustments are expected to be finished by the summertime, and they will be automatic for anyone with the right type of loans. So if you have FFEL loans or Parent Plus loans, you'll need to consolidate them before April 30th to be included in these adjustments. If you already have direct loans, there's no action needed to benefit from these adjustments. So again, another example of why now is a great time to start with Savi, because we will check, see if you need to take any steps like consolidating, and help ensure that you are included in these adjustments to get credit for every payment that you've made. Alrighty. I know we've been going through a lot of information pretty quickly, so let's take a quick pause to answer some questions before we talk about how Savi works. First question says, do the 120 payments include deferment forbearance periods? So typically, no. Only times where you are actively making payments will count. However, those account adjustments, which will happen later this year, will give you credit for certain deferment and forbearance periods. So you'll get credit for deferments from before 2013, and you'll get credit for forbearances that were longer than 12 consecutive months or longer than 36 cumulative months. Those times will be updated as if you were making payments during them to count towards forgiveness. How do I know if I should consolidate before April 30th? You can add your loans to your Savi account and we will identify if you are good to go or if you need to consolidate. So I would encourage you to create your Savi account, add your loans to it, and then we will check everything for you behind the scenes. If you are already good to go, we'll let you know. If you have loans that need to be consolidated, we will notify you and walk you through the consolidation to get that done before the deadline. Does Savi know how many months I have already been making payments under an IDR? Yes. So we are able to see your loan repayment history after you've added your loans to your Savi account. We will then be able to estimate how many payments you already have towards forgiveness and how far along you are before crossing the finish line. I just sent the link in the chat again. Someone says that they or we're trying to figure out how to sign up for Savi, we are not available to the public. So simply going to our website, we don't have a straightforward sign up process. This is why we have special links specifically for all of you to access this through your employer as an employer benefit. So I just sent the link in the chat again, and you can use that link to get started with your Savi account. Someone says I'm in an in-school deferment until I graduate in 2025. Any suggestions on how to proceed before the deadline? So the deadline really only applies if you have already been making payments on your loans. If you haven't started making payments yet, there aren't any past periods to get credit for. If you have loans that you were making payments on, but they're currently deferred because you're in school, that's okay. As long as they are direct loans, they'll still be included in the adjustments, giving you credit for the periods of payments that you've made already. How do the loans of children work? If I'm an eligible employee, can I help my kids with loans? Great question. So Savi is available to your family as well. If you have any children with loans, they can sign up through the same sign up link that you have. It's important to note, though, that everything for federal student loans is based on the information of the person who holds the loans. So your children will have access to using Savi, but to qualify for income-driven plans or public service loan forgiveness, they have to be the one to meet the requirements for their own loans. You cannot transfer eligibility. So for these programs, if you have loans, you need to be the ones to meet the requirements. If your children have loans, they need to be the ones to meet the requirements. Alrighty, I know there are a couple more questions, but I'm going to take a pause on them because I don't want us to run out of time, and I think that talking about Savi will help answer some of them. So as you've seen with these programs, there are a lot of options out there that can leave you lost. The programs are very helpful, but there's a wide variety of programs to choose from, and you're probably wondering, what's the best plan for me? This is exactly why Savi is here, because we want to make the best path clear. Some of the features of Savi are that you can see personalized repayment and forgiveness options, showing you exactly what programs you qualify for, what you need to do to get on track for them, and best of all, how much forgiveness you can receive. We monitor for new programs and policy changes and notify you anytime there are changes that can benefit you. We also remind you when it's time to recertify for these programs every year so that you don't miss deadlines and stay on track for forgiveness. Finally, some of the biggest benefits, you can sign and submit all necessary paperwork right through your Savi account. We will create any necessary applications and take care of submitting them to help you easily enroll in these programs. And best of all, you can get personalized support from student loan experts. Anytime you have questions about what you qualify for, you need a little bit more guidance, you can reach out to our support team to get one-on-one help with your situation. So using Savi is as simple as these 3 steps. First, be sure that you've started your general info application so that you can add your information and we can run the numbers for you. Step 2 is that after you've added your info, check out your options to see what you qualify for. We'll break it down for you, showing you exactly what repayment plans are available, what your payment would be, if you qualify for forgiveness, and how much forgiveness you can get. Step 3, after you've checked out those options, pick the plan that's the best one for you. Go ahead and enroll, and we'll submit those applications to help you take advantage of those savings. So this is the main Savi dashboard that you'll see whenever you log in. Here's that general info application where you can start to enter your info to see what you qualify for. In your Savi account, you can also send an invite to friends and family. So your friends can sign up using the same link that you have, or you can enter their email to send them an invite. As an added bonus, if you invite 3 people to sign up through your Savi account, we'll give you a coupon for 50% off of our premium plan. The people you invite don't even need to sign up. Just sending them the invite will get you that coupon code. In the application, you'll then enter all of your general info, like family, income, employment, and loans, so that we can use all that to run the numbers and see what you qualify for. After you've added your information, here's what the results page looks like. It'll break it down for you, showing you exactly what your payment could be, how far you are towards forgiveness, and how much forgiveness you can receive. It is absolutely free to create a Savi account and see what you qualify for. We even have options for you to submit the forms on your own at no cost. Once you've checked out the results page, found the plan that you're ready to enroll in, you can click Continue to get started. So there were a few questions about the cost of Savi. It is absolutely free to create your account and see what you qualify for. And as I mentioned, we even have a free DIY option where you can submit the forms on your own. Our most popular plan, though, is our Essential plan, as this unlocks all features of the Savi website. As an Essential member, we will create the applications for you digitally and take care of submitting them to make enrolling as easy as possible. We also monitor your loans to keep you on track for forgiveness, and best of all, you can get that one-on-one personalized help from our student loan experts. The cost of Savi's Essential membership is $60 per year. That is not per month, that is per year. And as I said, it's our most popular plan because it makes this easier and unlocks all the Savi features. You can enroll by clicking Select a Plan from your Savi dashboard. And remember, you can even see what you qualify for before deciding to enroll in the Essential membership. So feel free to enter your info, see what's available, and if you'd like to continue and have Savi help you with the rest, you can enroll in this Essential membership. Here's a little bit more about the benefits of it. If you are enrolled in the Essential membership, we will help submit any necessary applications for you. So applying for PSLF, we'll send those forms to your employer to be signed, and we'll submit them for you. We'll do the same with your income-driven application, getting that signed and submitted to enroll you in your new repayment plan. Believe it or not, the number one reason applications are denied is because they are filled out incorrectly. It's not because you didn't qualify, it's because there was an error on the form. With Savi's Essential membership, we pre-fill the forms to ensure they are completed correctly, and we actually have a 98% acceptance rate for forms submitted using the Essential membership. If you do create your applications through Savi, you can also track their statuses on your dashboard. You can see exactly what step of the process each of your applications is on, and if there's any action needed from you to get them to 100%. As you work through the application, if you have questions, we're always here to help. You can consult our Help Center, which has articles on student loan topics, frequently asked questions, and even videos walking you through the website. If you've enrolled in that Essential membership, you'll be able to reach out to our support team to get one-on-one personalized help with your situation. They are super knowledgeable about all things student loans, and they can help from everything from simple questions about discussing what you qualify for, all the way up to complicated issues like resolving issues with your student loan servicers. No issue is too big or too small for them. So if you do need any support, please do not hesitate to reach out to them. So starting to wrap some things up, if you're ready to get started, you can use the link in the chat or scan this QR code to sign up. If for some reason you're not able to sign up on this session, be sure to check your email afterwards and we'll send you instructions on how you can activate your Savi account. I'll leave you all with some next steps. If you haven't already, be sure to create your Savi account so that you have access to it and can get started right away. Complete your application to see what you qualify for. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out for support. So that's everything I've got for you today. Thank you so much for attending. I know we ran a few minutes over. I do apologize for that. But if you have any questions, feel free to stick around and I will hang out for a few more minutes and answer as many as I can. Someone says, can you explain a little bit more about the payment pause counting? Of course. Normally, only times where you are making payments count towards forgiveness. But because the payment pause is a special situation, they are allowing you to count those months as if you made a payment. The reasoning behind this is because if the payment pause didn't happen, likely you would have kept making your payments. So if you are still working in public service and you would have been making payments during that time normally, those months will be counted towards the required 120. All you need to do to get credit is submit an employment certification form for the employer that you worked at during the payment pause. In terms of certifying employment, do you work with our employers to get the signatures? Yes. We take the burden off of your shoulders and we do the heavy lifting to get these forms submitted. So, since we have partnered with the Pennsylvania higher education system, if you create your forms through Savi, we know exactly who to send them to, and we take care of sending them to your employer, getting them signed, and submitting them for you. So once you've created and signed that form, everything after that we will take care of for you. Remember, that is also a benefit of the essential membership is we'll do that heavy lifting for you. We'll create the forms. We will get them signed. So if you are tired of tracking down your employers, you don't know who the best person is to get a signature from, that essential membership can make that process easier for you. Can I choose to forego deferment and begin repayment now? You can. There are pros and cons to both of those. Uh, Typically, the biggest con is that time and deferment for in-school deferments doesn't count towards forgiveness. So if you're still working, you're not going to be earning any progress towards forgiveness. If you enter repayment now, you can make payments and continue your progress. This is another great benefit of our support team is that if you're an essential member and reach out to them, you can talk with them. We can look at your situation and figure out if it's better to start payments now or hold off until you graduate. I'd like to share this benefit with my children. How can they get signed up? You can use the sign up link in the chat and they can sign up through there, or you can send them an invite through your Savvy account and they can sign up as well. Remember, if you send the invite through your Savvy account, you'll get a 50% off coupon after you've invited 3 people. What if I've worked in public service but have private loans? Unfortunately, private loans do not qualify for these programs. You are required to have federal loans in order to enroll and receive this forgiveness. Unfortunately, if you do have private loans, you would not be a candidate for PSLF or income-driven repayment plans. If you happen to have a mix of federal and private loans, we can definitely assist you with getting those federal loans forgiven. And last question I think I'll be able to do today. It looks like a few people are asking about Parent Plus loans. So, Parent Plus loans are loans taken out in the parent's name but used to pay for the child to go to school. Because they are in the parent's name, this means that they are the parent's responsibility. And this means that everything will be based on the parent's information. So even though they were used to pay for the child to go to school, if you are the parent, you have to be the one to meet these requirements, meaning repayment will be based on your income and forgiveness will be based on your employment. If you do have Parent Plus loans, they are eligible for forgiveness just like all other federal loans, and Savvy can help you with getting those loans on track for forgiveness. So I would encourage any of you who have Parent Plus loans that are trying to get those forgiven to add them to your Savvy account, and we will help you take necessary steps to getting them on track for forgiveness. Alrighty, I know there are a couple more questions that are out there, but we are out of time. I do have to hop to another session, so I do sincerely apologize. If you have a question still that I am not able to answer, I would highly encourage you to start your Savvy account, start working through it, as there is a very high chance you'll find the answer to that question in your account. But if you don't and you still need some more support, please do not hesitate to reach out to our support team, as they are more than happy to help with any student loan question. Even feel free to mention me and say that Job from the webinar sent you, and I know they will take great care of all of you. So thanks so much everyone for attending today. I appreciate your time. I hope that you found this useful, and we cannot wait to work with all of you to help you with managing your student loans. So thanks again, and I hope you all have a great day.